It's a tightrope, is what it is. Your goals are a tightrope. They're easy to walk on when they're straight. But if it's all tangled and fucked up, you ain't walking that. You're gonna fall down.
Yeah.
And so you gotta keep it good.
Yeah.
But now I remember what I was gonna say. Going back to what you were saying about the 2-hour reset. My reset was the gym. I would I would finish class and I had work to do after. It would be like 5 or something, later in the day. Go to the gym, reset my mind, come back, take a shower, eat, and then I'd get to work. And it helps. That was kind of a looser structure, but the gym is always something I make time for. No matter what I'm doing. If I have the opportunity to work out, I will. But because it's such a necessity in my life. Because it keeps my head clear so I can pursue the mission. And sometimes when I'm away for too long, the knots are present. And working out pulls them tight. So you gotta keep the knots out of the string.
Yeah.
And it's very good as a reset. That's another good thing. You need to, not just taking a break. Taking a break is good, but if you can find a mental reset button, where you got all this shit on your whiteboard in your mind, get that eraser and you wipe it, and you can reset. You need to find a reset, no matter what it is. Be it painting, video games, if it helps for you, or the gym,
Going for a walk.
meditation, going for a walk. Cooking, anything.
Breathing.
Yeah, fucking breathing. Taking it slow. You need to take it slow.
Baby steps.
If you can find something that helps you take it slow, and reset your mind, clean the slate of all the bullshit, all the distraction, all of the necessity that you need to do. If you can find a moment within the day or an activity that you make time for, that you can actively reset. You can press the reboot button on your brain to get all this fuckery out of it. Even but you have the schedule to fall back on. So you can think of it like shutting down your computer. It's healthy for it. It's not supposed to be on all the time. It's not supposed to be running all the time. You hit that restart button, cleans the slate. You're bogged down by work, but you're following the schedule. You're keeping stuff good, but you have to do all this shit, and you're doing everything, but it's always on your mind. You need to find an activity where you can have nothing on your mind. You can just clean it, and you're like, I'm ready. I go to the gym, I pump iron, I get the negativity out, but I also reset my mind. I come out there feeling accomplished, and I'm ready to take on the next task that I have to. And you need to find something that will help you do that. So find an activity that you can reset your mind with and make time for it every day. Because you need a reset. No matter what, you need a reset. It is a form of break, but it is separate from an enjoyable fun break and I need time break. It is a break in and of itself. It is a mind break. Not just for your brain, but it is a next, wipe it, move on. Wipe it, move on. You need time for that.
Yep. And like you said, whether that be working out or going for a walk, meditation, breathing, it's like leaving that baggage at the door, right?
Yes.
As soon as you walk in,
taking out the trash.
taking out the trash, right? And in that moment in time when you're fucking stressed out of your shit's hitting the fan, right?
Yeah.
And you're just
Even if you're you got everything going on, you still need to wipe off the whiteboard.
Yeah.
You need to clean slate.
Yeah, definitely. And just when shit's hitting the fan, right? And you are really in your mind, right? You're really identifying with your thoughts, and you are a prisoner of your own mind. The best way to free that is to just be present, right? Come back down to the present moment and accept the isness of this moment. And when I say isness, I mean everything around you that already is, right? Just this fucking good and bad aside, just just what it is, neutral thing, right? And so you could really when you put that baggage down at the door, right, and you enter that activity, right, whether it be, we'll just use the gym for an example, right, so say I'm walking into the gym, right, I'll leave all my fucking mental baggage, all that shit in real life outside, and when I go in there, I forget about myself, I forget about all my problems, I forget about all, like, you know, all of the chains that are weighing me down, right,
Yeah.
because within that amount of time that you're there, that does not exist, right,
Yeah.
and when you go into the gym and you reset, hit that reset button, in the time, we'll just say like on the computer, right, you know how it takes, when you shut off your computer, it takes time for it to come back on,
Yeah.
right? When it does fully come back on, it's more clear, right? It's
Yeah.
fresh. It's not weighed down with a bunch of programs, right? And you'll be able, once you pick up that baggage again, what do you know? It'll be lighter, right?
Yes.
And you'll be able to see what you have to do without thinking as much. And it'll come naturally. And it's
Yeah.
crazy because we think we have to think so much to come to a solution, right? But when we take a break, hit that reset button and just be, the answer just comes to us. And that may not be true in all cases, don't get me wrong. Like, there's definitely situations where you have to think, right? But a lot of times we can just take a step back and just observe our surroundings, say like for maybe 20 minutes or 2 minutes. The answer can come to you innately.
Yeah. Let me look. Oh, so that time.
You want to keep going?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay.
Go for it.
So, I was going back to the going into the gym and leaving your baggage at the door. Sometimes, at least sometimes, I'll do it. I'll take my baggage into the gym.
Oh yeah, bring that shit in the gym.
And I'll throw that fucking shit around.
Yeah.
It's like it's a good method of
Yeah.
stripping away the bullshit.
Definitely.
Because like, I'll take all this negativity into the gym and I'll strip it. I take the suitcase, I fucking throw it on the ground. I open that up and I'll rip it through. Don't need this. Don't need this. Don't need this. I'm lifting. You know, negativity gone, stress gone,
Yeah.
anxiety gone.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
every rep is taking out the trash and washing. You know,
Yeah.
washing the floor, getting the dirt, getting the rust off, everything. You know, you're doing pull-ups. You're next.
Detoxing.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It is detox,
Yeah.
and that's going back to the cleaning the slate. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
You can either drop all your shit at the door, go in, and figure out what you really need to do once you have that fresh mindset, or you can take it in and clean it the fuck out.
And honestly, dude, yeah, I kind of want to leave. Like, don't get me wrong. That analogy of leaving your baggage at the door, yes, 100%. But what you said brings up a very good point. When you're in meditation, right, you don't want to suppress your thoughts. And I don't want people to get the interpretation that leaving your baggage at the door is like, okay, I should just
Forget everything.
Forget everything, right? No, I don't want that interpretation.
Yeah, you
that's
don't want to close your eyes to the problem.
Exactly, right? Because eventually you'll develop a habit of suppressing your emotions, which is not what we want, right? So if you can, like you said, bring that shit in with you, right? Whether it be into the gym, whether that be in because in meditation, essentially what you're doing is you're observing your problems, right? You're with the baggage, right?
Yeah.
You're moving through that state, right? And so same thing in the gym, right? You're bringing that negativity with you into the gym and you're moving through it.
Yeah.
And so through this, rather than like suppressing your problems and leaving them for later, maybe you're leaving, picking up the bag, right? And let's just say it is just as heavy as when you came in, right? The difference there is when you bring it in with you, you'll be able to like sift through it, observe it, see it how it is, and
Without clouded judgment.
without clouded judgment and non-judgment, exactly at that same time of just being, you know.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
Yeah, and like I said before, I think I might have mentioned this in the first or second episode of the Conscious Cast. It was like my meditation's different, where I don't try and clear my head. It's literally taking the baggage in and looking through it. I focus on one issue. I focus on one thing. Dissect it. And I'm like, okay, my mind is clearer having done this. But also I can see this, I can see it for what it is. Even though it might not be what I want it to be, I understand. And I understand how, if you see something for what it, if you see its Achilles heel, essentially. There is a weak point, a flaw to everything. And once you discover the flaw in the problem, whether it be you or the problem itself, there's always a solution, always a method of exploitation to acquire, I have this problem, blow it up in my head, look at it for what it is, pinpoint the weaknesses and exploit it, and solve the problem. Like studying, there's no way to get around it. There's no way to get around it. The only way to succeed in a test environment is practice. But there's different methods of practice. So it's another thing where it's like, I'm sitting, in my bed or something, and I'm thinking, and I'm like, what's the problem? Expand. And look at the problem. What's the best way to solve the problem? And then from there I can glean what I need to do. By thinking on it, not by not thinking.